Listen, have you ever noticed something strange? There's this concept called the horseshoe theory. The gist of it is that the people at the very extremes, the ultra-rich and the dirt poor, see the world with total clarity. But everyone else? Everyone's stuck in the middle. They're living in a thick, permanent fog. Take privacy, for example. The ultra-wealthy vanish behind offshore trusts and shell companies. The guy on the street? He has nothing worth tracking. He's off the grid. You're the only one leaving a massive paper trail. You, the middle class. It's the same with the rules. Billionaires write the laws. The homeless just ignore them, and you're the only one shaking every time you get a notification about a fine. Think about it. Who's actually free? The guy at the top and the guy at the bottom. They don't answer to anyone. But if you're stuck in the middle, you're in the system. You've got a boss who rents your brain from 9 to 5, and a spouse who's never satisfied. Honey, we need to renovate. This kitchen tile is so last year. Hire some contractors and make sure you bark at them for a discount. Sometimes you just want to say, can you just shut your mouth for a second? Real understanding of how the gears of civilization actually turn only happens at the extremes, either at the boiling point or at absolute zero. The middle class are hostages to the evening news and high school civics textbooks.
You believe what's printed in the papers, not what's actually being discussed in private boardrooms or happening in the dark alleys.
Do you know what justice looks like to a kid from the slums? When you've got empty pockets and the state machine wants to turn you into a statistic for a quarterly report, you realize instantly, Lady Justice isn't just blind, she's on the payroll. To a kid from the projects, the police aren't protectors. They're just the biggest, most powerful gang in the neighborhood. No offense, that's just the reality. Now, look at it through the eyes of a billionaire. To him, politics is just a marketplace where lobbying is the currency. Did you know that in the US, corporations dump billions into consulting fees that are really just legal bribes to get laws rewritten? You pay your taxes in Iowa, and that money ends up in the pockets of contractors building bridges to nowhere. You call that democracy? No, man. That's systemic theft. The rich know it. The people on welfare know it. Only you, the guy with the mortgage, still treats the public good like it's a sacred text. I'm not telling you this because I read it in some book. I lived it. I've seen both sides, from not knowing where my next meal was coming from to being able to buy an entire city block. Most people are trapped in a comfort bubble. You're living in the demo version of reality. And that is the #1 reason you need to get rich. It's not about the gold watches, trust me. It's about finally peeling the scales off your eyes. Remember school? You're sitting in math class, staring at trigonometry like a deer in headlights. And then, click. Suddenly you get it.
The world makes a little more sense.
Well, wealth is that click moment on a global scale. While you're broke, the law is a holy commandment. Once you're at the top, it's just a rough draft you can edit with a pencil. Do you really think a drug cartel in the jungle is fundamentally different from a pharmaceutical giant? Don't be naive. If you don't see the methods of a crime syndicate in high-level politics, you just haven't grown up yet. To get vision, you need capital. Whenever I try to talk about my situation with normal people, they say the dumbest things. But wait, They couldn't just arrest you for no reason. There are procedures. What about human rights? What rights, man? In a world where billions vanish into the black holes of military budgets, your rights aren't worth the paper they're printed on. If you ask a billionaire about my case, he'll tell you straight, they're hitting you because you're a dangerous competitor for people's minds. Your reach is bigger than the mainstream networks. So, they're hitting your bank account to paralyze your defense. It's a standard takedown. That's how the people who actually run things think. If your net worth doesn't have 9 zeros, you're like a polar bear in the desert. You have no idea where to go. You've never sat at the table where it's decided which senator gets a campaign check in exchange for a tiny tweak in the tax code. You just pay the tax. You're the perfect taxpayer, walking to the slaughter with a smile on your face. Money is the access code to the simulation. Private jets and supercars are great, I won't lie. But the real high is seeing through the matrix.
Understanding why governments lie and what's actually at stake.
The people at the bottom see the lie, but they're powerless. The people at the top use the lie to their advantage. We're the ones inputting the variables into the equation, while you're just trying to solve the problems we handed you. Every institution you trust, the tax office, the healthcare system, it's all part of the grand theater. An empire of illusions. You don't even know the names of the people who actually decide your fate. If you think the Prime Minister is the most powerful person in the country, I honestly feel sorry for you. You don't know who's taking your profit or who's actually calling the shots. When you get rich, you start hearing different stories. You meet the people who don't read the newspapers. They write them. If you're a man, you should have an instinct for the truth. Life is a short flicker, and you'll be dead soon. Don't you want to know how it actually works? Why, no matter who you vote for, the direction never changes and society keeps rotting. Who is actually pulling the strings? Forget the watches and the models. That's just fluff. The real question is, do you want to understand reality? You won't see it from your apartment. The system is designed to process the middle class. The rich have the tools to stay out of it. The poor have nothing to take. The entire weight of the machine is pressing down on you. You're just a battery in the mechanism. What's your alternative? You stay as cattle or you go get the money. In this world, everything has a price tag. Justice, loyalty, even silence. You just haven't seen the menu because your bank balance is too low. I'm telling you, not out of greed, but for the sake of the truth. Go get the damn money. The universe is built on laws, from gravity to math. The social world is no different. There is a setup, and you need to learn it. First, so you don't get crushed. Ignorance of the law here doesn't just fail to excuse you, it guarantees your punishment. Ignorance is a death sentence. You don't have to like the rules, but you better know how they work. There's nothing sadder than being a nobody. Being broke is bad. Being stupid is a disaster. But being broke, stupid, and sick, that's the end of the line. You have no choice. Learn so you can survive. The second reason to learn is the profit. You need to know how to use the current so it carries you, instead of drowning you. Get on the side where capital works for you, not the other way around. Believe me, you can do anything, even if you're a total zero right now. If you have resources and you know how to bring people together, you can build anything. Elon Musk doesn't build rocket engines with his own hands. He finds the best engineers and infects them with his vision. The phrase, "I don't know how," is just a screen for your laziness. The moment you actually want the result, the how takes care of itself. Winning is always a question of priorities. Everyone wants the gold medal, but almost nobody wants to cough up their lungs at a 5 a.m. practice. Wanting is a cheap word. What matters is what's at the top of your list of needs. If fun is in your top 3, you've already lost.
My list is simple: respect, a powerful body, massive capital. If your priority is partying, you'll lose it all. You have to choose either the girl who eats all your time or your success. There is no third option. You don't need fun. You need purpose and discipline. Fun is a bonus for people who are already at the peak. Right now, you're nobody. No one knows who you are. You're weak. Why do you need a break? You have problems that should have been solved yesterday. You're unhappy precisely because you're chasing pleasure instead of chasing greatness. Peace only comes when you become significant. Just imagine, you look in the mirror and you see an athlete with millions in the bank who is respected by the whole world. You can't buy that feeling. You have to claw it out of the earth. In my best years, I was in the gym 10 hours a week. What were you doing? Watching Netflix, drinking beer, and you still wonder why you have nothing. If you're 16 or 20, use every single second. Time is the only asset you can't get back. People flush their lives down the toilet and then act surprised when they end up as losers. Don't be like everyone else. Go out and take what's yours.